Welcome to the Global Pulse, a short video series where our experts break down a trending topic in international business and why it matters to you.
Ajay Banga, who is a former MasterCard executive, has been nominated by President Biden to lead the World Bank. And traditionally, what has happened is the nomination by the American president tends to be the leader that is selected to lead. It's interesting. Banga has done a lot of great work for MasterCard. He's originally born in India and came to the United States and had an incredible amount of success. Looks like he has all of the necessary skills to become a leader. What's interesting about it is that his nomination comes at the same time that folks have been calling for a woman to lead a World Bank. So the German Prime Minister and a group called GWL Voices for Inclusion and Change, which is an advocacy group that focuses on multilateralism and gender equality, have really highlighted the need for a woman leader of this organization. GWL Voices for Inclusion and Change note that there's 13 multilateral organizations, including the World Bank, where a woman has never served as a leader. So this puts women and women who might be in this field in an interesting spot, right? If everybody's calling for a woman as leader, great. At the same time, if you then get put into that leadership position, there's a part of you that might wonder, am I really the best candidate, or is it just based on gender? And no one wants to be in a place because of their identity, right? They want to be there based on their skills. Sometimes if you get the opportunity and you can prove yourself, great, but it can be challenging if you feel as if you're only there to kind of fulfill a quota. What's interesting is that I do think it's important for folks to be drawing attention to the fact that a woman has never led the World Bank, and here's why. When we ask people, when we ask senior executives, or even I've asked my own students, how many women are in leadership roles, they tend to respond with a much higher number than what is true. So I'll give you a study. Weber Shandwick, who's an organization that does these kind of surveys, they surveyed 1,700 senior level executives, and they asked them, hey, how many women are in CEO roles within Fortune 500 companies? And the answer was 23%. That's what they guessed. They guessed 23% of Fortune 500 companies are led by women. My students, when I've surveyed them in class, tend to guess around a similar number, anywhere between 15 and 25%, some as high as 30, some as high as 50. And the reality is that when this survey was done in 2018, I believe it was less than 6% of women were serving in that CEO role. Now in 2023, we have the most women who've ever served in CEO roles in Fortune 500 companies at 10%, which is awesome, but not 23%, right? So by drawing attention to the fact that these organizations have never been led by a woman, we do create a conversation where we say, okay, how can we get to the point where women can be qualified? Are we putting women in those lower level positions, in finance roles, in important roles that lead to these paths? The good news is that once women do get into that CEO role, going back to the same 2018 Weber Shandwick study, they're seen as just as competent as men. Gender sort of ceases to become an issue, and people really just focus on company performance. So it should hearten any woman, even if you feel like, maybe I got this role because I'm a woman. Did I get it for the right reasons? That generally, once you're there and once you start delivering on the promises that you've kept and the vision that you're evoking, people really do have your back. They're behind you, and so that's really heartening. At the same time, we wish Ajay Banga all the luck. I think he's got all the qualifications to make him a great leader of the World Bank. There's some real challenges facing them. If they, we're going to have to address how climate change is displacing people. Could be some things that we really want to take a look at and study moving forward. So best of luck, and it'll be interesting to see how his leadership develops.